Everyone, it's Denise. Today I want to talk to y'all about New York hairstyling license. They're calling theirs the natural hairstyling license. So let's get right into it. Here, if you have a different language, they saying you can translate into a different language to learn about this application. Now it's called the natural hairstyling application. This is the overview of the natural hairstyling application. Allows you to provide for a fee any consideration or exchange, meaning consideration is just saying a thank you, whether it's indirect or direct, meaning you didn't do it but you got somebody else to do it. That's conspiracy. Any of the following services of her and of human being. All right. Any of the following services to the her of a human being. So if you want to style her for a fee, exchange thank yous, or even set up for somebody else that's a human being to get a shampoo, arrange dressing, twisting, shaping, weaving, extending, locking, or braiding of the hair or beard by whether hand or mechanical appliances, such practice shall not include cutting. So you can't cut, you can't shave, you can't trim no hair except that such activities are permissible to the extent that each activity are incidental to the practice of natural hairstyling. So yeah, meaning like they would probably allow you to trim some fake hair but not real hair. Such practical such practice shall not include the application of dyes, reactive chemicals, or other preparations to alter the color or straighten or curl or alter the structure of hair. So they're not even allowing you to use any kind of preparations to straighten, curl, or even wave the hair. Techniques which result in tension on hair roots, such as certain types of braiding, weaving, wrapping, unlocking, and extending of hair, may only be performed by a natural hairstyling or cosmetology licensee who has successfully completed an approved course of study in which techniques is of such techniques. It is the responsibility of the licensee to understand the appearance enhancement law. So right now, if you're not a licensee, it's not your responsibility to understand this. But if you are a licensee, you need to understand the terms of licensure for 4 years. So if you get this license for 4 years, you need to understand that you can't do no chemicals, you can't do no cutting unless it's probably on the extending of the weave. And yeah, you got to be within their permission to even do shampooing. Now, these are the requirements. This the juicy part that makes me really, really upset. Okay? Because applicants are required to apply for a license in New York e-licensing system. So everything is totally online when you apply. You will not be applying with a check or a money order. You will need a credit card to apply. You must have a New York government ID account. Okay? So you need to have a New York state ID, and then it needs to be the New York State government ID account. If you do not have an account, right here is where you can go and apply for that account and sign up for your account. So then to apply to get the natural hairstyling license, you must be 17 years old, complete 300 hours of approved course of study, and pass both the New York State written and practical exam. The the affirmation of the New York State approved schooling section of the application must be completed by your school director as proof of successful completion. So they want you to have a approved schooling section that they will have you go to be examined by a physician, physician assistant, or nurse practitioner. The physician assistant or nurse practitioner must complete and date the health certification section of the application. You must submit your application within 30 days after the health certification is signed and dated. So you have to do an exam, Do 300 hours, do an exam, buy an approved school, get a successful proof of completion, then go make you a doctor's appointment. Within 30 days of seeing that doctor, you have to apply with them in order to get your license. Number one, New York State Education and Examination eligible for temporary license, right? You must complete 300 hours of approved course study, pass both the New York State and written practical exam to get the license to operate in a state. As a proof of successful completion of schooling, you must have an affirmation of New York State approved schooling section of the application completed for your school director. That's that's number one. Effective June 2020, all operator applications qualifying based on the completion of the New York State education must complete one course of domestic violence and sexual assault awareness. Visit this page to complete that course before submitting your application. So now, even though you did the 300 hours, went to go see the doctor, did all this stuff. You're 17 years old, did 300 hours, took the test, went to go see the doctor. Now you got to go and take another 1 hour course for domestic violence and sexual abuse before you can even apply as well. Now let's get to number two. Education outside of New York for that to be eligible for a temporary license. Also, I would like to make sure that you understand this is only temporary, eligible for temporary. This is not permanent licensure, okay? The Department of State may waive the New York State schooling requirement if you have a document equivalent of schooling from another state or country. You must submit all three of the following documents: your school certificate, a transcript listing subjects and hours completed, and a current original certification of licensure from your state board, or if not licensed, a current certification from your state board verifying the hours that you claim. So it still got to come through a state board from where you transferring to. Now, after your application is reviewed and accepted, you will also be required to pass both the New York State practical exams to obtain your natural hairstyling license in your state. You will receive information that explains the exam process in detail. Now here it didn't say you need to go and do the 1 hour, but they may tell you to do it, okay? Experience 5 years outside of New York. And additional an individual having 5 years of legal experience in an occupation equivalent to the natural hair styling may apply for a New York license by submitting satisfactory evidence of education and experience. Within the U.S. within the United States experience, an original certification from a licensing agency you were previously licensed with. 2 experience statements filled out by former employers, coworkers, clients that can claim your experience in the state for at least 5 years. This experience statements must include exact dates, month and year of start of service and month and year of end of service, location, city, state, and shop name, and specific services you performed. 3. A copy of your taxes which indicate natural hairstyling as an occupation. So that's a better way of you being able to get in. It's saying that send in your original licensing from your licensing agency, which you have to be a licensing agency to give out that license certification. Your former employees, these are bona fides. You will probably get them notarized from your clients claiming that experience. Make sure you have the exact dates, months, and years, the location, and the city and state in the shop. And then a copy if you've been paying taxes saying that this is what you do. Now, if you was outside of the United States, the evidence that you may include, but it's not limited to, is an official certification from your licensing authority in your country, from the consulate, that the license is not required to practice this occupation in your country, right? That's saying that if it's not required to practice with a license, you get that letter from the consulate as well. So you get a letter of explanation if you do or if you don't. Details letters from your employee in your country, specific dates of employment, location, specific services that you perform. Detail letters from your client. So here they wanted both. They want a letter from your employer. They want letters from your clients. Up top, if you was in the United States, it was kind of together. It was either or. Number 4, they want a copy of your passport here, your driver's license, workbook with natural hair curling, styling, and experience, or any photo identification. Copies of the course curricula and diplomas, certificates, or education completed in your country. A copy of your tax returns that indicate hairstyling as an occupation. And after your application is received and accepted, you may obtain a hairstyling license in New York without examination or further education. Okay? So after they get it, you will receive it without any further application or any of that if you came from another country. Now, endorsements. An applicant who holds a hairstyling license in another jurisdiction may obtain a hairstyling license in New York through endorsement without examination or further education. Refer to our website for a natural hairstyling endorsement list to determine if you qualify for licensure based on endorsement. An application must be submitted an original certification from the jurisdiction where he or she holds an equivalent license. Okay? Now, previously licensed in New York, an individual who falls in this file, an applicant, and a fee to renew in 5 years. The expiration date cited on the individual's license shall be eligible for such licensing until he or she passes an original exam. Proof of previous licensure may be required. Number 6, if you are a New York State barber licensure. If you are duly licensed as a barber in New York State, you may apply for the natural hairstyling license without any additional education or examination. All right? Now these are the fees. It's $40 for the initial application, $40 to renew, $15 for the exam, and $15 for the practical. $10 for the 6-month temporary license, $10 for the 6-month temporary renewal, $10 for late renewal penalty. Zero charge for a name change, $10 for your address, and $10 for a duplicate license registration. So your initial license fee is $40. Then your written exam is $15, so that's $55. Then your practical exam is $15, so that's $70. Okay. Then you got to pay for a temporary license to continue to work. That's $80. I don't know when you pay for the original. If you are applying for initial application and a temporary license, you may combine the fees and remit one application for $50. Okay. Now the written exam appearance enhancement written exam procedures. Okay. So they want to tell you what to bring, even though you have to register with the e-licensing system with My New York Gov online services with your New York government ID. They also want you to bring things when you come. When you come, you have to have a form of government issue ID. Your identification must be current and not expired. It could be a driver's license, state ID, a New York City identification card, military ID, United States passport. It could be an employment authorization card, United States and INS issued ID, certificate of U.S. citizenship, a foreign passport, Brazilian, Mexican, Honduran, or Ecuadorian councilman ID. All right. To apply for your examination confirmation, which should include all the examination information, including the candidate examination number. These are the examination sites, policies, no cell phones, no dictionaries, no books, no eating, no visitors, no guests, no firearms. Any person found with notes and books, they're going to dismiss you from the exam and give you some type of disciplinary procedures as well, and you will have score reporting. This is more information about the exam. You can click here. This is the practical exam. If the practical exam is held at Empire Beauty School, 22 West 34th Street in New York. So I guess this is all of the exams. So you got to get there no matter where you at in New York. You got to get to New York City to do the exam. Have your photo ID. Everything must be current. These are the same IDs we just went over. It's a cancellation policy. If you cancel your appointment, you will forfeit your examination fee, meaning you will not get the fee back, okay? There is a reschedule policy. If you want to reschedule, there's a no-show policy and a tardy policy. Now here is the general practical information. They want you to download that. Okay, so here it comes. Now this is the general practical information that you will get, telling you where to come to. The mannequins are now required, so you don't have to come with a live person. You need a mannequin. The $15 non-refundable fee. The candidate COVID mandatory checklist prior to coming, so you have to come in, check off that you don't have COVID. This is the same stuff. What you get to bring in, how to prepare clean, washable garments, smock, different stuff like that. The practical procedures right here. Your exam work area. You'll be doing your exam work area and the mannequin preparation for 15 minutes, locking for 30 minutes, braiding for 30 minutes, corner roll for 30 minutes, and weaving for 30 minutes, including clean up of the work. Remember, you can't cut her, so they don't have any type of cutting or anything like that here. These are examination cancellations, how you do that, and then how you will get your results. You may not appeal your examination results. So once you get them, you cannot appeal them, all right? The exam results will be reported as either pass or fail. You will not receive a numerical score, so you won't receive 100% of none of that. Past exam results are only valid for a period of 5 years. So for 5 years, they valid. After 5 years, if you haven't went in and paid the $10, I believe it was, for the license, your exam fees are not valid. And that's the end of that. So I just want to thank y'all for coming over here to EcoHair Braiders Association and allowing me, Denise Jarrett, to speak with you. If you don't want to be bothered with all this, join us at www.braiderscourse.com, where you can enroll today. You don't have to go see the doctor, call the doctor, have paperwork, fly in of any of that, and you can get your hair braiding certification, where you can and you are allowed to have scissors. You can protect your health, provide safety, and prevent infections with us. So just choose your path to success. And I hope to see you on the right path with us at EcoHair Braiders Association, where we stop the comb cops from coming in your shop. Now, have a good day.